Hello, world. GGR with Scarcasm here. We are back with another reaction. Now, as a part of the show's special month we do August, we invite guests onto the podcast. And since we started doing reactions, we decided that it was probably a good idea if we have any guests that's on the show, if they want to, they can supply us with a video to do a reaction to as a way of incorporating everyone into what we're doing here. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that's watched the videos, that's subscribed. Our subscribers has gone up. Um, you know, we're not 32 or 34 anymore. And the people who are commenting on everything but the Nightwish videos have been really cool, and we very much appreciate y'all. We appreciate the Nightwish people too. We just wish that y'all would actually read the comments so you wouldn't keep saying the same things over again. But other than that, like we appreciate everyone that's liked, shared, subscribed, talked to their friends. We haven't been doing this for very long, but so far this has been really, really fun for us to do. Now, our guest for today is the homie Sam, friend of the show. Well, not necessarily friend of the show, just kind of, a part of the show, but just kind of shows up when he wants to.
When I have time.
When he wants to.
Yeah, like this is the first episode of August. Well, the first August. But neither one of these two are technically guests. They're technically, co-hosts.
They're family. They're family. They're family. We like Olive Garden.
Right.
But the original guest that we had is he had a toothache, so we had to bring in some ringers. But in the process of bringing in ringers, we let Sam pick a video for today, since we always pick videos for this. And so Sam, take it away. What do you have for us today?
Okay, so years ago, I was just trolling around the internet, like I usually do, just looking on the forums and stuff. And there was some people from a certain area, I think like the Cleveland area, had this weird banner in their signature in the forums. It was a picture of this dude, and it said, "Carl Monday is watching you masturbate." And I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, "What is that from?" And then there was a link attached to each one of these signatures. You click on it, and there was a video on YouTube. It's called "Knocking It Down in the Library." It's about this dude who got caught.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Just it's Carl Monday is a reporter, and something happened during one of his reports.
There you go.
And we're going to experience this together.
Let's do it, man.
I have not watched this since the first time.
All right.
Okay.
Let's make it happen.
And those mountains right over here.
Right, normally you float over the water.
For 6-year-old Colin Beckford, the library is a lifelong learning experience.
But if you went way down deep, there's mountains way down under the water.
FA was tight, by the way, out the
A
gate.
seemingly safe and secure environment that puts his mom at ease.
We've never had any problems or any issues.
After all, there are security systems in place and a security guard on duty. And a screening system to foil what the Cleveland Library says is its biggest crime, the theft of books.
Well, that's our biggest thing, is people trying to take books out of here, or movies.
But book theft may be the least of the library's security problems. We reviewed incident reports from libraries in Cleveland and throughout Cuyahoga County. In just the past 6 months, we found more than 50 cases of violence, pornography.
Yo, pause it
and
real quick,
sex.
Chase.
A patron robbed at gun.
Yo, I just want to make a comment how you can tell when a video is really, really old. When you look at it and it looks like you're looking through water on the screen, number one, visually, and then audibly when it sounds like somebody's talking through a Walmart trash bag, number two. I'm picking up both of these right now, man. All right, go ahead.
Point. A man downloading and printing child porn. Used condoms found on the computer room floor. Teens having sex on a sink in the men's room. Teens having oral sex.
The library?
Self while looking
Yeah,
at
the
a
library is where you get
13-year-old
that.
girl.
We have a spectrum of problem behaviors.
What's going
Some
on
of
in
which is
Cleveland?
criminal, majority of it is not.
Former FBI
Apparently I
agent
hear
John
rocks.
Dunn runs security at the county library's 28 branches.
We have, I think, all the typical ingredients that attach to having almost unlimited public access.
That includes public access to the computer for patrons like 23-year-old Mike Cooper. What do you look up on the
Yeah, they say this whole government thing.
Nothing really. My sports scores, stuff like that.
Sports, pornography, stuff like that?
No. Why?
He just casually threw in pornography.
Wait a minute.
You know what you're looking for, boy?
And he tried to play it off too. He was like, why would I do that?
Right.
No, it's always a tell. It's always a tell when you got to go to sports scores.
Yeah,
Like, come on. Like, that's what I was saying when I was like 13. Like, no, I'm looking at sports. No.
Right. Hey, this was 15 years ago, but hey, cell phones, you could get scores. You could get scoreboards on the cell phone at this time, dog.
Yeah, I know, but
Man,
like,
people,
that's your...
you could get sports scores on your Skyway pager back then. So like, come on, dog. Motorola two-way page me.
So
Like-
you're looking at those scores of titties, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, sports, local news, pornography,
I mean, that's the good thing about titties. They always come in pairs.
Never lonely. Never lonely.
He's like, pornography. Oh, snap, you too? Holy crap.
Yeah. Was it Kanye West that said they he was talking to a woman. He said, "Your titties prove that I can focus on two things at once." All right.
Keep rolling.
I don't know why. You tell me why.
I don't look up pornography, so no.
For some, pursuing the porn sites is a favorite pastime at local libraries, sometimes with young children just a few feet away. Our undercover cameras and library incident reports back us up. But sometimes it's more than just looking. It's a public library, all right, but it's not a place where patrons should be acting out their private fantasies.
Can you think of any time when a patron sitting at a computer and watching porn and masturbating would be acceptable behavior?
Absolutely not.
Criminal behavior?
It could be, certainly, absolutely.
Why would he even ask that question? Do you think this is like...
Because they had a hidden camera and they know they caught somebody, so he's asking the dude like, "You think that this is something acceptable? Because he knows what the answer he's going to give is." But he knows what the real answer is. It's kind of like when your wife asks you about where you've been.
It's like they already know the answer. They just testing you to see if you're going to understand the answer.
As Chris Rock said, "I know you did it. Just a minute."
Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, he gonna pull that card out of his pocket here in just a minute.
Ever perform a sexual act at the library?
No, I have not.
What if I told you we got video of you performing a sexual act?
Well, it wasn't me.
We can't really show you, but that's Mike Cooper pleasuring himself while watching porn at the Berea Library, just across the room from the children's section. Take our word for it. And his. You just reached out and grabbed yourself and started having sex?
I did what I wasn't thinking. I made a mistake.
We've seen adults looking up the sites.
Okay, at what point can this dude just walk away? I mean, that's what I would.
I don't know why he stood there. I don't know why he stood there after he got caught. Instead of admitting, I would have just walked away. I would have just like.
Exit stage right, son.
I would have just got clean the fuck out of there. Like,
he's like the dudes just was like, "I know you did it. I seen you do it. I was watching you. Here's the video of you doing it." And he's like, "That's not me." He
I
literally
know
said
you
that's
did
not
it.
me.
Just admit it. I know you did it. Just
Just
admit it.
admit it.
I know you did it. Just admit it. And he should have just walked away. He owes this reporter absolutely nothing at this point.
Nothing. Like he already said it wasn't me. I know that Shaggy song was already popular around that time. Look, he could have just walked off and just kept saying, it wasn't me, man.
Did you
And just
know?
kept it moving.
Did you know the Shaggy song "It Wasn't Me"? One of Michael Jackson's favorite songs.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You love that song.
That's funny. But yeah, man, I just love it. I just love the fact that he was just like, I mean, I did what I would normally do. That's what he said. I did what I would normally do. Like, come on, son.
And then look, the worst part about it is like the video that they're showing, he's scrolling through. He's not even looking at nothing. Like, you know what I mean? He's not just looking at one thing. He's just kind of scrolling through the page. And he's pulling down the scroll wheel and he's pulling down his pants at the same time. Like this is wild, bro.
Right, man. I was gonna say it's nuts, but pardon the pun.
What's wrong with Ohio, dog? Like, I mean, the other stuff that they said has happened in these libraries. Like, come on, man, what's going on?
Well, I've always said that Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest, sir.
Boy.
And actually having sex in the library.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Based on the fact that there are guys like you out there doing this kind of thing, you think parents ought to be a little more careful about letting their kids at the library alone?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, if you were a parent, wouldn't you be afraid of a guy like you?
I'm not a sexual predator or anything. Yeah, I would be afraid.
If Mike Cooper doesn't trust himself, should we? Well, apparently the Berea Library does. Was he pleasuring himself when you saw him last time?
Yeah.
Berea Library manager Cindy Beresne says they caught Cooper a few years ago.
I told him I would have to call the police if it continued.
And Cooper ran out of the building.
We want people here. We leave people alone. We do not bother people unless and until they create an issue that puts them in where they're disrupting our mission or the ability of other people to use the library, or they fall afoul of our rules or our policies.
Apparently,
he's got to be so serious about that shit. But you know, he's probably laughing his ass off.
Dude,
you know, he's got to be serious about this shit because he got cameras in his face and stuff like that. But he's probably laughing his ass off. I mean, his tie is already undone. Like he is in a situation to where it's like he can't get out of this in the way that he feels like he needs to get out of this. Look, dog, just laugh. Just laugh. Like,
dude,
it's better for
when he
you
was
or
like,
everybody
"It
else."
won't me." Remember that? It might have been somebody, but it won't me. Look right here.
Cooper
like,
apparently,
he just turns and looks at the camera.
The library didn't break any rules. Cooper began returning to the library about 6 months ago. No one stopped him. So why would you let a guy like that back in the library?
Well, I mean, like I said, you'd like to give people other chances.
This is a guy who's performing a sexual act at a library. I mean, why would you allow him back in the library?
Well, it was several years ago, and I wasn't aware, that he had any criminal record or that it was continuing.
I didn't think I was doing anything wrong at the time, and now I understand.
You didn't think having sex underneath the table at the library was wrong?
At the time, no. Now,
So it really count as having
admit that I was
sex.
wrong.
Yeah, well,
There's
with
nothing else that
yourself.
I can say.
While Cooper's antisocial behavior should be a concern to all parents, the unemployed porn site user has his own folks to deal with now.
Damn, unemployed.
You hear he categorized him.
No. He already took it to this dude.
Oh,
When he started asking him, like, when he started saying people like you, and he's not even of color. Like he started saying, you think people should be around people like you in the library? Like, whoa, what the fuck you mean for people like me? I'm an Ohio State fan. Can't you see, nigga? Like, what the fuck? Like,
he called him the two most vague. He called him an unemployed porn site user. Like, how does that help you categorize anybody? Like,
I would have laughed if when he said you were having sex under the table or whatever. He was like, "Wait a minute, so I'm not a virgin?"
Look, he did everything but call him deplorable at this point.
Pretty much, man. I mean, but you know what though? That stash has to say something. His stash says a lot.
It says a lot.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. His
All he
stash
needs,
says a lot.
all he
Your
needs is
parents?
like this.
Yes.
What do you think they're going to think when they see this?
They're gonna kill me.
I don't like you getting in my face
There you
either,
go.
or my son's face. You
But not before taking your anger out on us. But his son doing out in the public, in a public place, exposing himself, and having...
I said get out of here. Get that body now. She ought to take that
threatening behavior at the computer.
Oh, now he wants to act tough. Look.
Yeah, now he want to act tough, man.
Yeah, he
Get
was
out
like-
of here, man.
Yeah, he was like, "What would your parents think?" And apparently, his parents didn't fucking give a shit.
No.
No.
They have to do that in public.
They have to do that in public.
Yeah.
Like they get with you in private, but in public they have to defend you because that's your child and you're on local TV.
Right.
You're on TV at this point, so I have to defend you right now.
Mhm.
But when we get in the house after all of this is over,
I'm gonna smack you upside the head.
The second you walk in the door, what's wrong with you? The second you walk in the door.
I'm gonna smack you upside the head the way you were smacking yourself upside the head.
Yeah,
like,
dude, like, took his microphone and started like getting physical and shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're on their lawn. They're on.
But look, the thing about this is none of them need this. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that he stood there answering those questions after he got caught, it was like, no, he should have just walked away. And then like the parents should have did the same. Obviously, they all have the same
inability to exercise.
They all have the same wherewithal to they just go take this. Like, no, dog, just walk away.
Right. This is not a fight you have to take.
Right.
You say choose your battles wisely, right?
And now that dude should have to register as a sex offender, right?
Because he was doing it
someone
right
has
there.
to press charges though.
Right
if the
there,
library doesn't
masturbating in a public place, like that's not something that anyone even has to press. Like, they should go get him, right?
Well, he was never officially charged with it. He was never arrested with it. So at that point, if he's admitted to it, then someone, I would think legally, someone would have to press charges. So it'd either be the person who saw him do it or the library. Those are pretty much the only two people that can enforce it, right? That can press the charge.
Well, I think that's what the reporter was getting upset about, because he was like, "Why are you letting him back in here? Like, what is going on?
Right.
What are we doing?"
But then that goes to if that recording is admissible in court, bruh, because it was privately recorded.
That reporter
actually, it's publicly recorded. Like, you can record anybody in public and they can't say shit. Like, everyone's like, what are you doing with that?
As long as it's not in the bathroom, right?
It doesn't matter though. Like in states like California, you have to tell people they're recorded in order for that recording to be admissible. Doesn't matter when and where you are. It has to be disclosed.
Yeah, different states have different.
It varies by state, right? So
this Ohio though.
Valid.
So
they probably have
no security cameras or freaking.
There's only two good things that came out of Ohio.
LeBron and Dave
LeBron James and Steph Curry. Dave Chappelle is from DC.
He's from DC, but he lives in Ohio now.
No. He lives in Ohio, so that doesn't count. He's from DC, so he is a product of DC.
And what was the name of that school that he went to? Can't remember the name of it. Duke Ellington, School of Performing Arts.
Yeah, and Steph Curry, because LeBron and Steph Curry were born in the same hospital.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, I mean, even though those cameras weren't, maybe they were hidden cameras, but the library has security cameras. So even though that those cameras weren't like their security cameras, you're still in the library and you still know that you're on camera. Right?
You're being surveilled.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think this side on shit. I ain't thinking this dude's on shit. Or his
my man, the reporter, is taking his job way too seriously. Like, he is approaching this. Mm-hmm. He is approaching this as if he is on to a major story right now.
Look, he out here to correct these wrongs. Is what he's out here doing.
Yeah,
he's out here to correct these wrongs, son.
You know what I mean? Woodward and Bernstein over here.
At the Cooper residence.
I'm a combat vet. And if you want me to bring my More to you, you son of a... I will. And you won't...
Damn, I will.
Well, by law, libraries aren't required to filter out pornography on their computers. Generally, it's up to each library system to set up its own guidelines. Of
Okay,
course, all
why does
libraries
Carl Monday
must
look
take
like a
the
creeper
appropriate
too, though?
action, to
Right,
make sure that
right.
children aren't exposed to internet porn at the library. But as we'll find out tomorrow at 11, that's not always the case.
Now, is this a case where more security might be advantageous?
Now, we're already spending a lot of money on security so far this year. Actually, this entire year, we'll spend about $316,000 at the county libraries and $2.3 million at the Cleveland Public Libraries for security alone. So we are spending some cash.
And they don't feel, the people there don't feel legally empowered to throw somebody out for this.
Many don't, and that's what we'll talk about tomorrow.
All right, Carl, thank you. We will see you tomorrow
All
night.
right, Carl.
All right, Carl.
All right, Carl.
Well, you mean
So-
we don't get to see the next
I guess not.
report?
So the best part about this was the comments. The very first one: Twink toilets, best friends, mom's cat. That woman's disingenuous and nearly sarcastic reaction to "Oh my God, that's horrible!" almost makes me think that she has been knocking it down in the library too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like women have it a little bit easier. Like you can wear those vibrating panties and be straight. You know what I mean?
But I just find it hilarious, man, that they that this report even existed.
Exactly.
B, that the dude continued to talk in the interview. That the father continued to just go off and act like that, and I guess D, man, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm from the hood, man. I try to suppress it all the time. But if I would have been that cameraman or somebody who was like pushing up on me, that would have went a whole nother way.
But like the idea that this stuff is happening in the library is crazy to me, because when I was younger, like you meet like your hookup at the library because that is the best place for you both to tell your parents where you're going.
Right.
Then you go do some other things elsewhere, not actually at the library, man.
Yeah, the library is a scapegoat location.
Right.
Yeah, it's like we're going to the library.
Mike Cooper's old man didn't put his life on the line fighting overseas just for some buzzkill named Carl Monday could come and try and keep his grown kid from cranking it down in the library. Thank you for your service, Mr. Cooper.
Wow.
I give you a salute, sir.
If you're mad at Carl, then you too have knocked it down at the library.
Oh man,
this is hilarious. Like, oh my god, there's so many things.
I'm not a predator or anything. Yeah, I'd be afraid.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd be scared. Yeah, I'd be scared.
Here's one. Here, believe it or not, Mike Cooper is in a relationship now. For his sake, hopefully his girlfriend hasn't seen this video.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy,
maybe
man.
Maybe she's the lady that was like, "Oh my god, that's horrible."
Oh my god, where?
Oh my god, that's horrible. Let me see.
Well, he was drilling. He was like, "Well, why'd you let him back in?" Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Change.
Yeah, his girlfriend is the lady who worked at the library.
Man,
she I see what you're working with.
That was hilarious, Sam. I appreciate that, man. Especially that throwback media, man, of the visuals and the audio.
Here we go. Watching this video made me realize why 45 got elected.
That's funny, man.
Did he win Ohio?
Did he win Ohio? I don't remember.
He might have won Ohio.
Boy, I think Ohio was close too. I can't even recall.
I need to find my election map.
Well, let's close this out, man.
Yep.
All right.
Wrap it.
So well, if you laughed, do the things like share and subscribe. We'll be back with more Hanging with Scarcasm, more reactions, more goodness. We'll be back soon.
And if you're watching this video in the library, please don't be rubbing it out.
Please don't.
Please don't. Yeah.
Don't be knocking it down.
Yeah. Ohio, please don't.
And if you're ever interviewed and you're accused of something during the interview, just walk away.
Like he's not the police. You don't have to stand there and talk to him.
Just walk away.
Even if you're the police, you have a right to remain silent.
Right. Just walk away.
I'm looking at
He needs to be like Mr. Turner. Like, have you ever seen Mr. Turner? I refuse to say, oh my God, we have to do Mr. Turner at some point now. Like, we have to.
Okay.
But yeah, we have to do Mr. Turner.
So looking at this dude's videos, there's no follow up.
Oh man.
It's tough. Man, this was 15 years ago.
His last video was 10 years ago.
He was probably like, man, it's a little too racy. It was probably a little too racy. You know what I mean? This was 15 years ago in Ohio, of all places. So, all right, y'all.
All right, I think we got it. Peace out, y'all.
Later.
Deuces.